Hey guys, ArchieLuxury on the ArchieLuxury and the Paul Pluter channels. Today guys, we're doing a new series. So you want to be a watch dealer. And this video here has been made with special help. This here has been special help from Olivia Rose. That's correct. Olivia Rose. Olivia Rose very kindly sent around 70 Aussie dollars to make this series. So we're going to make a few videos thanks to Olivia. Nobody else chipped in a fucking brass razoo, which is really disappointing, but let's make a few videos to keep our sponsor happy, Olivia Rose. Well, you want to be a watch dealer, you need to know a few people. See, if you're going to be a mini watch dealer, I would highly suggest you get a bit of you need to know a few people. What do I mean? Well, you need to know a good independent watchmaker. That's correct. You need to know an independent watchmaker who can do basic servicing for you. He can do basic things like if you've got a link that doesn't come out or you need little things done, you need a basic watchmaker. Now, I'm not talking about a battery jockey. I'm not talking about a battery jockey in a big shopping center who changes batteries. No. I mean a proper watchmaker, somebody who's done the trade. So because look, the honest truth is you cannot send watches back to the manufacturer if you're going to be in the business. You need somebody. You may have to occasionally send things back, but in most part, you need to have somebody who can do little jobs for you. For example, you might have a link that's really stuck, and it's very hard. Instead of fucking it up yourself, you need to have an independent guy who could he knows what he's doing. The next thing you really need to know is a top watch polisher. I got to tell you, in my case here, I've seen a lot of terrible polishing jobs. A guy that I use a lot, he's Watch Tech. That's right. That's Vintage Watch Co.'s service division. Their polishing is absolutely impeccable. They err on the side of caution. So often if you're getting a dent or a scratch removed, you'll see a little trace of it. And the reason for this is because they're not going to over polish it. They're going to just take as bare minimum off, which is what you want. You want somebody who very sympathetically polishes and restores the case, not goes in there gun-ho and off you go. So a polisher, professional watch polisher, is a very essential thing to know. What else? Who else do you need to know? Well, guys, if you're going into the wristwatch business, you want to sell pieces. Look, it's basically you want to be a bit savvy. I like to value add. Value adding is a very cool thing. Often you could buy a piece, you can start off small. You could buy a piece on eBay or a forum. You get it serviced, overhauled, polished. It might have a really ugly strap. You take that off, put a nicer strap on it, and then you want to present it as nice as possible and then sell it. So you've got to try and get a few contacts, some contacts who can help with this process. So you want to be a watch dealer. I honestly would say to you, you've got to have an independent watchmaker who can do little things for you. You want to have a really good polisher. And you want to also you got to use a bit of, you want to try and, value add. Sometimes you buy something at a heavily discounted price because it's dinged or dented or somebody can't be bothered servicing it. you've got to look at it as a business transaction. And sometimes it can cost you more than you bargained for. Then you head into negative territory. It eats into your profit margin. But that's the most important thing. Independent watchmaker to do little jobs for you. A polisher. And that's probably your two key ingredients to getting this business going. The reason I say that is you cannot always run back to the manufacturer. Often if you buy, let's say you buy a Rolex and it needs a polish, you really can't afford to send it into Rolex and get them to service it, because their servicing costs, although they're very, very good at what they do, well, actually they're not good at what they do. For modern stuff, they're good, but for vintage, they can swipe hands, they'll change tritium to lume, they'll do all sorts of fucking horror stories there. It's the right watchmaker for the right piece. You've got to remember this. So many people I've seen have fucked things up. I know a good friend of mine, he had a Berthier Submariner 1967. And what happened? What happened indeed? I tell you what happened. Completely fucked it up. That's right. He completely fucked it up by sending it to Rolex. They changed the dial. They changed the hands. It went from being a very valuable watch to, it's still a valuable watch, but he fucked it up. You've got to know when to do certain things. So that's why I say you've got to try and have a bit of a contact. You've got to have an independent watchmaker, a polisher you can use, and know when to use what and where and when, because you make a mistake and it's going to really affect your bottom line. You've got to remember that. Exactly. So just be careful. Just be careful, man. That's the whole thing. You got to be careful. Don't be too arrogant thinking this is easy. None of this shit's easy. So today's video, go and find, if you want to get into the watch business, go and find yourself an independent watchmaker. So this is not one who's tied to a certain, he's not working for, he works for himself. You want to find some sort of polisher to do jobs for you. You've got to be sensible about these things. Sometimes it's good to send them to the manufacturer. I've seen them do wonderful. If you need a dial or if you need something really tricky done, well, I had a Cartier which had a broken screw, a gold broken screw. Where the fuck do you get a Cartier gold screw from? So it had to be sent in, and they resolved that issue. So you've got to know the right person for the right job, because otherwise you'll lose money, and it's all about the buck. That's all we care about. Money, money, money. I'm Paul Pluto. This is one of the first videos in the series. Tell me what you think. Like, subscribe, tell your fuckhead friends, and don't forget, if you want your name in the credits, send me some fucking money, fuckers!